All right, hello everyone. So today is Monday, 13th of November. Now, this week is going to be an interesting week. So all week we should have. Um, Now, this week is going to be interesting. So you got to be extra careful, okay? But in any case, if we get our time and price right, it should also be a good week to, make a quick buck. All right. So obviously use your money management and just take a look at that video I did on the weekend. It's on YouTube and on the Vimeo channel. Now, here we are, we've got gold. Now, remember last week we said we want to get down into this zone on the daily here. Okay, so the market coming down here nice and easy, and that's logical too. So we should come lower actually into this bar, and we should close the gaps here, in fact. Okay, and so forth. So, but we're going to have to do that. Okay, we're going to have to do that if the market goes up. Okay, so the place is 45, 1947, 48, I reckon. 1947, 48. So somewhere around here, let's say 1947, 48 there, right? So if the market should come up into here, especially, how should I put it? If we end up somewhere in the evening, right? With gold, I'm talking about with gold. Okay, we should end up at a target, right? Once we end up at that target, that level is going to be like good for a reversal. But until then, we should have the energy to push, right? So the important hour for us today is going to be basically this, and the evening session here, because either we're going to swing, and in between we're going to have some action periods. The market should move like fast, harsh, and we should have some disruptive moves. Okay, so with gold, what do we want to do? If we're at the Astro hours here, somewhere, it could be higher as well. It could be at the weekly, doesn't matter. It could be at the high of last week up here somewhere, or high of Friday, it doesn't matter. Whenever we're up somewhere, we want to be selling it off. Okay, if we're down here somewhere, we're going to buy. Okay, and we're going to do that as well. But I'm just going to put this in here. I'm just going to take this into perspective. Okay, so this is the zone. Okay, which we'll probably dip into. So if we're down here at an Astro hour within this zone, it's okay to go long at the hours that I mentioned. All right, so 9:15 to 12 to 12:30, and 8:20 onwards, 8:20, 8:40, somewhere there. Okay, at the Astro hours. But you got to be careful today. We could like have a push going all the way down. So if you're going to stand in front of it, be sensible at the Astro hours, because like it's going to be a pushy move. All right, it's going to be like a pushy move. So we could be coming all the way down as well, or going all the way up as well. Okay, so just be careful. This week is going to be pretty, uh, pretty harsh. All right, you'll see it in the world as well. It's going to be pretty harsh. So this could be a nice place to hop on board, then push up, and then to push down further into here and here before going back up. All right. So down, up, down would be perfect for us. Okay. Let's take a look at SP5. Well, let's take a look at the weekly as well here. Let's check out the weekly charts, a new week. So yeah, like we're still going down. If it wants to come up into there, that's going to be 69. We should keep it in mind as well. Okay, if the market does get up into 1969, it'll be an option, but that's too far out at the moment. We can use it for a target if the market wants to go up. Okay, 1969 here. All right. So from the lows, if the market goes up, we've got room to go up. Target, I'm going to get rid of that. This is not a target anymore. Now I've got this 1947, the daily pivot. So if the market goes up, we should head into the daily, and 1947, this will be a sell area. So you got to be careful. So if we, from here, if we like go up into there, the market might sell off and then, keep pushing down until these hours, okay, and go even lower. So be mindful. If the market goes around here and then it pushes up, it breaks out, we come back into the lunchtime, then we can push up into these hours. All right. SP 500 weekly, let's take a look. Now here, as you can see, we had that weekly push up. We've got a target there, which is 57.52. So 57.52 is 4455. That's on the weekly. 4455. Now remember, I said this on Friday. I said it's a swing day. Because it's a swing day on Friday, I said we could do those targets as well. Okay. Now with the SP 500, we don't have a swing day today on this one. Okay. So if the market goes up into the Astro hours, the first one is down here. So that's going to be 8:15 on the platform, 9:15 my time. And this is going to be 12 o'clock my time, which is going to be 11:30 and 11. All right, between 12 and 12:30 my time, which is going to be 11 to 11:30 there. Okay, and then we've got the evening hours, all right, which is going to be my time 7:15, 7:45, let's say. Okay, we're going to be there somewhere. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get rid of this. All right, and that was the target. If we go up again, we can sell. Yes, I think we can. If it goes down first, we're going to have to buy. Okay, why? Because I told you about this gap, so we should sell. And last week I said we should sell from the highs on a Monday next week, and that's true. We still got two levels here, so the market might just dip up a little bit coming into the swing day, 67.69, 442536. This is for today. Okay, 442536 is there. All right, so this is on the daily, that's on the weekly, right? So there's still a possibility the market might go a little higher, and coming into the swing day, then we could short it as well, not a problem. So if we dip down first and close the gaps, okay, like here, here at the equilibrium, or slightly lower, it's not a bad idea to go long if we come down first. If we go up first, then selling is going to be an option. Okay, selling is going to be an option. Let's see. On the weekly, as you can see, we've got that level still on the card. So on the upside, we can sell there. On the downside, we can target 48, which is 4293. 4293 is going to be there. Okay. And we can get rid of that. On the daily, we can target that 58, 4370. 4370. Let me just do this. 4370. Okay, so that's going to be on the daily, which is not a bad spot either. Okay, you can see it's in the green zone there. Okay, and that is where the market broke out on that one. This is where the market broke out on this high, and this is where the market broke out of nowhere special. So this should break below this and come lower if it's going to go up. All right. So the better buying option should be down here or down here or down here in the white line there. Okay. So waiting for these levels to push up is not a bad idea. So if we come down first, you want to go up into New York. If there's a breakout going down, then on the slightest retracement into an astro hour, you'll want to, or your technical level, you'll want to shoot it down. Okay. And just be mindful today, like I said, it's going to be a violent week actually. Okay, so this week, just be mindful. Now, euro dollar, as you can see, it made that target last week. So if we go back up again, you could probably sell. Let's take a look at the monthly. November. Yeah, it's a bit of a tricky month, but you can see this is where the sell-off came in. I'm happy to sell this if the market goes up. Where can we get up to? The first resistance on the daily is 62.05, which is going to be 1.0717. So I'm going to put 1.0717 right onto the cards here. All right. So Astro hours, this zone is okay to sell. On the weekly, as you can see, there's not much to do except this level here, which is your LCL1 and 1.0747. 1.0747, I can just bring it down into here. Okay, so there. So sell at Astro hours if we end up there. Here, don't muck around. Okay, just don't muck around in the middle of nowhere. If you think you feel like you want to buy the euro dollar, well then 65 is also 1.0749. So that's good. So that and that, this also matches the weekly, so which is fine. Then if you want to buy it, 0645. So that 0645, if the market goes down, 0645 is going to be a target for us as well, which is there, 0645. So that's your first target. On the weekly, okay, coming all the way back down here, that's your 41. 0580, let's say. 0580 is way down there. Okay. So where can you sell? Well, it's the weekly here today, as you can see, right? So the weekly pivot there and there, they're okay to sell at the Astro hours. So you're going to have to be careful on those hours. In the middle of nowhere, like I say, don't trade because you'll just get mashed out. So mark your levels. If you want to buy, you can do your technical analysis. Say, you know what, if it's an Astro hour and it's down here, I can go long. That's fine. That's okay. If we're up at where the market sold before or weekly pivot zone, because this is where the breakout happened down. So if we go back up there to Astro and you want to sell with a tight stop loss, fine. But don't muck around in the middle. On top of that, we want 11 here, which is going to be 12 o'clock my time. And 11:30 here. So there are a lot of aspects coming in and they're going to be harsh this week, okay? So I'm expecting like disruption, breakouts, all kind of mumbo jumbo business, okay? Now here you also got to understand we're making higher highs and higher lows. So it's also telling me that maybe we're starting an uptrend, okay? Could that be happening? Well, from here, it could be happening, okay, because it swept the stop there, it went there, but you can see there's a gap here, which I think the market should want to complete. But this is on the weekly chart, so for the benefit of our exercise, okay, if the market goes up into a place where they can sell off again into this zone, I'm happy to sell on the highs, okay? Remember, this zone has been done, okay? They took out the stops, they sweep the stops as well. So if we go back up again, selling down is not a bad option into that 1.0630, 1.06. You can put them as a target as well, 1.06 and 0630 actually as well, which is pretty much there. And 1.06 is pretty much there. Okay, so these will be like targets on your PST level, which you can do. Let's take a look at Dow Jones, NASDAQ, Bitcoin. Okay, so let's take a look at Dow Jones. Now remember, I talked about this as well. I said the goodbye kisses here. You must be careful here. If the market does do an up move, and on Friday, as you can see, it made a bit of an up move there. Now on the weekly, we might still have that zone, so the market can still push up into that 56 zone. So we have to be careful, which is 34,68473. So I've got 684, 34, 684, and 73, 673. Okay, as you can see, it's pretty much there. Okay, very, very close. Okay, so this zone. So that could still be a target. So from these lows here, as you can see, we can still go up, okay? Because you can see it broke the high and closed above. Now pull back to go higher into the swing day, okay, which is going to happen, then could be the way to go, okay? Because this week, like I said, is going to be hectic. So if we find ourselves down somewhere in an astro hour, or if New York makes a sudden move down and then we start, then the market starts pushing up, then going with that flow is not a bad idea. So here we've got 8:15 on the platform, and it's going to be 11. So just, as I always say, put your lines up and then trade off your price levels at the right time. Let's get rid of that. 11:30 there. Okay. And that's that. Okay. So on the weekly, like I said, if you're using your ATAM, it's good possibility to reach out there. If the market sells off from that weekly, then coming down into the 45, 33, 335 is going to be a target for us. 33, 335, somewhere along here. Okay, so this will be a target, let's say, and I'm just going to get rid of these. Okay. And that's it. Is there anything else? Let's take a look at the daily for a target. The resistance here is going to be 66. That's 34, 372, 412. It's going to be here. 372, 412. And I can also get rid of this as now. So that's on the daily, which is fine. Okay, it sweeps everything out, and that's on the weekly. All right, so 34.9. I'm going to get rid of these. Okay, if the market comes down first, okay, buying is not a bad idea. If we go up first, selling is not a bad idea. Remember, Friday was a swing day on this one. So if we head up into an astro hour target, selling again is not a bad idea. Okay, and on Friday, if you take a look at the daily, the market was already on the higher side of places. So if we're down here on Friday, we'd look to go long, but since the market was up here, we want to be shorting at any time when we see enough reason to do so. And here you see 34,362, which is there. All right, that's the place where the market covers the gap. Okay, so 34,380, 90 around there. And 3438, there you go, and that's that zone there. Okay, that's the goodbye kiss zone there. Let's take a look at Nasdaq on the weekly. Same kind of thing here. This is where the market sold off, as you can see. So taking out the stops, going higher. Again, once again, selling is not a bad idea from these highs downwards. Okay, so this is not a bad move down 5 wave down, going up to sell again. And if you take a look at this, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe slightly higher, making a 5, and then a deeper ABC is also an option. Okay, if that's the 1, 2, that's going to be your 3. That's your complex wave down 4. So we could head up a little higher as well and then push down. Okay, so that's also on the cards. And this was a zone which I talked about as well on Friday. So this is still a place where the market could sell off. I don't see any other bar other than this, but it's already broken it. So what we can do is what can we do? And take this pin there. Is there a gap here? No. 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 So this zone's actually okay to sell as well. Okay. This is okay to sell too. So we should be okay on the selling side of things. Where, well, on the weekly, well, that is just so high. That's 65. That is just 16,045. Come on. 16,045. That's just going to be way, way up there. So what we want to do is, in that case, any retracement up into the Astro hour we'll want to sell. Okay, that 16,045 is way, way up there. Only if it breaks above the high of Friday, nice breakout, then maybe we could target that, but that is just a bit far out. And that's basically it. I'm going to get rid of this. If we come down, you can see we've got room to come down into there. There are gaps to be filled here, as you can see. So at the end of the day, the market should really fall back down and make a lower low than that before going back up again, and that should bring us to there. Okay, so these highs we should be looking to sell off. Okay, so we should be looking to sell highs this week. This is how I think things should be rolling. And like I said, we should get back into these zones. You see how much room there is. Once it breaks down, they start to sell off. First, we'll get into this zone, maybe a bit of a bounce. Then we'll get into this zone here. We'll have to get into this zone here and see how things pan out. Okay, and that's basically it. That's on the daily. On the weekly, like I said, might just do a little bit higher, but I don't see how this is going to pan out. Is there a gap here on the weekly? Might be. Might be. But what I'm going to do, guys, because that's too far out on the daily, if we come up into any resistance levels on our price in this zone, you can just mark this zone here like I have. Okay, from that tip to the low of that bar there. Okay. And this should be the zone. So selling here. If it breaks above there, don't muck around with it. Just wait. Because the swing day for this, there is one swing day for this today. So if we find ourselves somewhere at the high of last week, high of Friday or whatever, something like that, then let me get back to the 15-minute chart. If we find ourselves like on the highs of Friday or whatever, we should sell off. Okay, if it comes down first, like I always say, if it comes down first, you can do that buy going up into your intraday and then sell off from the highs at Astro hours again. Bitcoin, let's see. Bitcoin, I talked about these levels closing the gap in the market there. So, like I said, it's nothing new here. You can sell the highs at these levels, okay, to push further down. If you want to sit and wait for a reaction first, it's also doable. If the market breaks the low, then on a pullback, you can swing down because it needs to fill this up. We should end up back down at 30K. Okay, it should also break that and go lower, in my opinion. Okay, we should come lower. We'll see how things pan out. Okay, but that's just how it is. Okay. So buying again at the 30,000 level is okay if you want to buy and trade it up. If you want to sell, these levels are going to be 37,550, 38,250. Now, because we've got a bunch of aspects which are like crazy this week, you need to be careful. Okay, you need to be careful, especially today. And also, we got some aspects coming in on Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, which is, like pretty dangerous in the markets as well. It's dangerous globally, you know, but also going to be pretty tricky in the markets as well. So be mindful with your money management. Stay on the edges when you're trading, okay, on the edges, and you understand that the mid-range is always going to be a drama. Okay, so on the weekly, as you can see, I don't have much of a target. We're right up there at the tops there. On the daily, though, the resistance level at 85, this is like 38,500, so probably 39, something like that, around here. Okay, 39, and so on. Here, maybe it'll touch 40 as a psychological level. It's an option. Okay, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't be buying from the highs. Okay, if you want to buy something, wait for it to drop, and around those levels, it should be a sell level. If you're using the ATAM strategy, then you can, wait for the sell-offs at the swing day plus the PST resistance levels or levels that you see here.